What's up, baseball fans? After a long week of baseball and some tough losses for a majority of the panel's team, the Braves, we are back with Touching All Bases. As always, I'm your host, Maura Kane, and I'm joined by my amazing panel, Kaden, Riley, Drew, Katie, and Jackson. First up, we have the show before the show. Clemson sweeps Cal, moving them to number 4 in the Division I baseball rankings. What are our thoughts?
We're good.
Yeah, way to put games away.
We're a good
Who put Clemson in their top 5 preseason rankings?
I don't remember my preseason.
I didn't make mine.
Good job. I didn't.
Whatever ChatGPT's top
I think
five
I think I had him at 4. I want to say is the highest I had him.
Oh, well, they're at 4 right now, so
I think
pretty impressive.
Let's go.
I think I had him at 4, honestly. I don't quite remember
I had him pretty high.
Clemson always managed, this whole year we've been able to repeat this cycle, I feel like, in every sport. We just exceed expectations, create lofty expectations, disappoint, and then a less popular sport starts dominating right after. We just keep doing that over and over. And
Well, luckily, there's no
Maybe it'll be
sport
different.
after baseball.
So we're going to win the World Series in this
Yeah.
one.
Omaha.
That's what I'm thinking.
Can we go to Omaha? If we make it.
Bro, they make it.
Oh, yeah,
Where is that? Is that in Arizona?
Touching All Bases trip to Omaha
Oh my
if
gosh.
they go.
We film in Omaha. Is that where
Great
state?
Omaha.
What state is that in?
Nebraska?
Nebraska.
Yeah,
Why are you saying that like
Omaha,
it was an
Arizona.
obvious thing? You're saying that like it's obvious. No one's heard of Omaha.
Even I knew
I
that.
only know that as an audible Peyton Manning used. It was Omaha. Yeah.
We're a talk
Riley.
show about baseball. We don't even know where Omaha, Nebraska is. It's literally the College World Series.
Geography lesson.
You wrote about 18 articles on Clemson baseball this season, or whatever it is. Can you tell me and us what's going on? Why are we so dominant?
What I take into note is how good our transfers have been. Dominic Listy, Luke Gaffney, Josh Pano. I'm missing 2 others, but they've been Josh Pano and Luke Gaffney. I want to say have been mashing home runs. Dominic Listy is batting over 300 in the leadoff spot. They've just what I take into account is the transfers and just how good they've been. They've been a great addition. And then Cam Canarella, I think he's fallen kind of down because he was a top 10 prospect, I think, coming into the season. I think he's fallen quite a bit, but he's still batting over 300 too. But it's just a good all-around team. And then Aiden Knack, great pitcher. The rest of the pitchers behind him doing great, bullpen, keeping leads and everything. Just a great team, and I'll be there all this weekend to watch as we play Stanford. So hopefully looking for another sweep this weekend.
Yes. But they have a few series coming up against some ranked teams.
Mm-hmm.
So those are going to be big tests just to see how they perform against those. And I think, if they can pull off winning those series, they can move up even further in the rankings.
Absolutely. We've looked very consistent overall.
Oh, yeah.
Our pitching's looked
30
good
and 5.
too. Our starting 3 has looked absolutely great. There were 5-0, I think 4-1 and 3-2. I don't know, but our starting 3 has looked great, I would say, for sure.
Yeah.
What do we got next?
All right, next up is everyone's favorite, the 3 to see. First up, we have Vladdy and the Blue Jays have come to an agreement for $500 million for 14 years. Who will be the MLB's next $500 million contract?
I'll go first because I know who I think, and I feel like some of y'all are going to disagree with me. Oh, well, apparently not. I think it's going to be,
Wow.
I think it's going to be Kyle Tucker.
Kyle Tucker for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you think about it, going into next offseason, he is 100% the gem of free agency. I think before it was kind of gamble, was it going to be him or was it going to be Vladdy? But now that Vladdy's off the table, he is the hottest prospect that teams are going to be going after. And we are in a market right now where it is an all-time high. We just saw Juan Soto get $765 million. And I'm not saying that Kyle Tucker is going to get $765 million, but I think they're pretty comparable players. I think Juan Soto is slightly better. If you look at his numbers, his career years are way better than Tucker's, but overall, Tucker is a lot more consistent. So, I mean, there is just there's no thought in my mind that Kyle Tucker is not worth $265 million less than Juan Soto. So I think he has to make at least $500 million this offseason.
For me, this one was a little closer because I didn't know if Kyle Tucker would keep getting short-term deals or if he would because I was stuck between Kyle Tucker and Gunnar Henderson here. Because I didn't know if he would get a 2-year, not $500 million deal, and Gunnar Henderson would get that big deal before he would because he's a younger factor. But I think Kyle Tucker's going to get it first. I think he's going to get a big deal right off the bat next year.
I'm going to have to disagree with this. We talked about this on Tuesday, I think. With big contract deals like this, I hate using these words, but I feel like swag and like aura, like it contributes to the money. And like Kyle Tucker does not have that.
Yeah, he's a very classy player.
Yes, like Freddie Freeman,
Right.
like players like that. And he's also projected for a 10-year, $350 million deal. So I don't think he's going to reach the 500 mark.
More than that.
But I don't.
Gotta be.
I don't
I mean,
think
if you
so.
just, it's just, it makes me angry that I feel like Juan Soto is just built up in so many people's head because he was this like hot prospect for so long and, you know, came out and played great. But like, I just really don't think that he's worth $765 million. And if he's getting $765 million, then Kyle Tucker should at least be getting $500 million.
The player I'm going with, it's going to be Acuna for me. He has club options in 26 and 27. Acuna.
He's going to get 500.
He's in like his like
27.
mid-20s.
But yeah, he has club options. I think we're going to try to extend him during those club options, and he's going to demand $500 million because first of all,
He deserves that.
he's on a crap
deserves
he's
it.
on a crap deal right now. But like it's also hard because of his knees, terrible knees. But like other players that kind of like look at like the two pitchers that catch my eye that I don't think pitchers are gonna get $500 million, but Zach Wheeler is a free agent after 27, and Skubal is free agent after 26.
I feel like if you look at Acuna's and Tucker's stats, they're pretty comparable players. I'd say Acuna's
Swag.
a little more like, what?
Swag.
I know. Acuna, I think it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I think it's
I'll
the
pull
same
him up
thing.
right now.
I'll get
Maybe I'm wrong.
Tucker is like a very consistent player. He hasn't had one year that's been like crazy amazing, but he's had consistently good years. Whereas I think both with Juan Soto and both with Acuna, they've had those career years that people are going to remember when they did all these extraordinary things, but they've also had those years when they've just not been so great. So I feel like just having those like career years that are super extraordinary like adds to their
Well,
swag.
whenever Acuna's been healthy, he's had great years. Half of his career.
He batted 340 with 40 home runs.
Half of his career has been injured. So it's just hard to go off of his career because like he's just been injured so much. But that's also gonna
Yeah, I think
take down his contract value.
I think when you remove injuries, Acuna's in a different tier than Kyle Tucker. But I think
Remove injuries, he's
yeah.
$607.
Okay, but
think, yeah.
injuries are a part of it.
I know, so-
That's the thing.
But I still
Like,
think he's
agree
gonna
with that.
demand 500 at least. I feel like from us.
And I think he deserves 500 even
I
with
think
his,
Kyle Tucker
Absolutely.
should demand it too, and I think he should get it.
I want to talk more about the Blue Jays deal. So if you want to talk about the next 500 million, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with Riley on that one. I think the next 500 million is going to be Acuna. I'm looking at the free agent class next year. The only ones that really show out to me that much are just, old man Verlander, but he's not going to get 500 million. And then Albies is also possibly going up for free agency, and then so is Bellinger and Schwarber.
Verlander got $500
Or
million.
the Cubs.
Yeah.
He's pitching till he's 60. Like,
Yeah, but I think just out of star power and just star talent, the next guy to get 500 million should be Acuna, just absolutely out, just full on. I mean, if he stays, when he comes back, if he continues his production like he did before he got hurt and the years before that, I think he's the next 500 million, maybe more.
I have one more thing to say about this.
Word.
I do hope though that Kyle Tucker is not the next $500 million player, just because the Astros
Y'all aren't
are
signing-
not-
Y'all are
No.
losing them.
They're not going to sign a $500 million contract. Period.
Yeah.
That's just not how the Astros do things. So I mean, if he takes shorter years, more money, then we have
Never
a
gonna
chance.
get
But
him.
I don't think it's happening.
I'm going to try to make sense when I say this. I think that, how I felt about, how I predicted Juan Soto's deal at the end of last season versus what he got, how big of a jump that was. If I project that into next season, I think Kyle Tucker reaches 500 million. But I think in my brain, I'd imagine him somewhere in the fours. 350 feels really low.
But I'm going to say this is a terrible deal with Vladdy. I hate this deal.
Yeah, I agree.
He, $500 million for, this is rude, but an overweight first baseman who's going to be a DH in a couple years. 14 years for that kind of player.
You know who this affects the most?
The Blue Jays?
Pete Alonso.
Yeah, well, yeah, because
Pete Alonso's stuck.
and the Mets and Pete Alonso, the Mets are stuck with Pete Alonso now because they were gonna go after Vlad. They were gonna go after Vladdy, but now, I mean, Pete Alonso's
Makes
been
me happy, though.
been
Pete Alonso,
good.
I'm jumping for
That's
joy
why
right now.
I love this deal personally, because the Mets aren't getting Vladdy now, and they're going to be stuck with Pete Alonso.
But Pete Alonso's been kind of raking recently, but like he's not gonna.
Not gonna keep it up.
No, and he's also has an opt out after the season. So like if he leaves, and who are the Mets getting for as a first baseman? No one.
I'm not very good at talking about baseball. I learned that today because
What?
I learned that today because
Glad you're on this show.
I picked literally.
know, it's honest.
Yeah, it's a terrible decision to have me on. I picked literally every player to go to the Blue Jays, and then when it came to Vladdy re-signing, that's the first time I was like, nope, not gonna happen. Like that was the moment when I gave up. So. That's it. I'm breaking up with the Blue Jays. Okay, they're no longer my team.
Breaking news.
They're no longer my team. I'm
my
done.
gosh.
Okay, they made me look stupid time and time again.
That's true.
I'm completely done with the Blue Jays. Okay, I will hyperfixate on a team. I'll fall in love with a random team for no.
I'm a Blue Jays fan right now.
I'll fall in love.
Guys, he actually does.
I'm gonna have a little bit of a hot boy summer. You know, I'm gonna hoe around, maybe have a new team every week. Like every week, I'll be like, I love this team. But I will come back committed to some C- MLB team and be like, they're gonna win the World Series next year. But it's not the Blue Jays anymore because they made me look dumb time and time again. And if they're successful, I won't be back.
This is
Right,
the
get
average
Brian
Blue
back.
Jays experience.
Really?
They let them down time and time again, and they keep thinking they're going to have a good season. And they keep thinking that they're going to beat us, and they're going to be better than us, and they're going to get first in our division.
Well, I'm never going back.
So like where are the Braves?
Communication
Where are
is
the
a big deal
Braves
for
ranked
me.
in this?
The Braves, I mean, they're my favorite team.
Okay.
Like, the Braves are like a, yeah, the Braves could be the A's, and I
feel
would
like-
support them for
I
30
feel like
years.
your Blue Jays
Yeah.
is like my Mets.
Yeah, I mean, no, the Blue
But, like,
Jays
not
is-
anymore.
Sad.
It's
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 even
over,
sad
exactly.
version
It
of
was a
Mets.
bit, but
I have
it's
not
over.
broken up with the Mets yet.
Yeah. Communication is big for me, and the Blue Jays don't show that. Vladdy said no, and then they extended it, so I'm breaking up with them.
Yeah, I also want to talk about the first basemen next year. Riley did say Pete Alonso was probably the next big one. I'm looking at the list right now. It's Josh Naylor, Paul Goldschmidt. You get him, an older guy, obviously, and then Reese Hoskins and Carlos Santana and Justin Turner look like the top
horrible lineup.
5 you could get. It's
Josh
not
Bell had
horrible.
a good year
It's
a few years
That's
back.
pretty
yeah,
bad.
it's not horrible, but it's a lot of aging
For the
guys.
Mets.
It's not horrible, but it's a lot of
Like,
aging guys.
as
Yeah.
a team.
Yeah, I mean, like, they would absolutely start and be fine. A lot of those guys you name. Like, that's not, you're not getting a blue chip guy, but that, in terms of if we need a first baseman, you would get a first
Yeah,
baseman.
no, a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
those are very solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would get these guys if you were going all in on that
Yeah,
year.
those are four to six hitters for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, what's our next point, Maura?
All right. Bryce Harper discusses the Blue Jays, saying, I feel like only losers complain about what they're doing. I think they're a great team, a great organization. The Dodgers also dropped back-to-back series against the one and only Philadelphia Phillies. Oh, that's...
Oh.
Go back to the Blue Jays. Was that the same
We
thing?
can't do that. We
Or
can't
did I
edit
skip
things
it?
like that.
No, you
No, you're
right.
right.
So
You
anyway,
did it perfectly. You were perfectly fine, Maura.
and the National.
Okay.
I lined out my thing weird, so I thought I read the next
No,
one.
no, you did
Very good. You're good.
We'll edit it
You're
out. We'll
good.
cut it out.
Well, anyways,
We're not.
you know, people that are like freaking out about the Dodgers, I think that is absolutely insane.
Calm down.
The Dodgers are just fine. Like, do you really expect them to go 162-0? Much less they're not even going to go like 120-0. They currently have a 714 winning percentage, which if you like average that out between 162 games, they're going to be winning 116 games, which will tie them for most wins ever.
the
So why are people like, oh, they lost a series, oh no. Like, yeah, of course you're going to lose a series, it's baseball.
It's 162.
Yeah, you can't expect to win every game.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so if it's the Phillies, I wouldn't really panic there because the Phillies are a good baseball team.
It's just the
It's the Nationals are the only
not.
reason that people are
Still.
panicking. And yet again, good
Blake-
teams drop series to
Yes.
like the A's all the time.
Blake
Like, they'll
Snell,
drop guys.
Blake Snell also just hit the IL, so he's done. He's out for a while.
Honestly,
But
that's
still,
a big
it's going to take a lot of injuries for the Dodgers for me to have concern. Just
Freddie
because of
Freeman's
how
also on the
stacked
IL.
his shower injury.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I'm not. No.
listen, it's gonna take voodoo magic to kill the Dodgers.
Second episode in a row doing
Yeah, did you say that about Freddie Freeman last time too?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, it was Freddie last
I don't tolerate Freddie Freeman hate.
No, Freddie Freeman, like,
Yeah, no one's
everyone
awesome.
has to love Freddie.
Who
I
doesn't
do.
like
He's got a
Freddie?
walk-off
such a great
against us.
guy. Okay.
Win the fucking
Very, very
I was
good.
so happy about that.
He was on the World Series team that beat the Astros. So
Oh, that made me
I have
sad to
reason
see him
to, but I
dominate
don't.
on in a
It
Dodgers
was
jersey.
sad.
Yeah, it was
Everyone
bittersweet.
except the Braves fans have reasons to hate Freddie, but they still don't. kind of crazy.
I got a speech prepared. I got something to say to Bryce Harper.
I'm excited.
There we go.
All right,
I
so
hate Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper, of course, said that only losers complain, okay? And I want to break down the situation, okay? So we have a player that a team drafted and developed incredibly well, okay? They were an organization and culture that Bryce wanted to stay in. I don't know why, but I found a quote where he said, I thought we had a really good meeting. This is about meeting with the Nationals back in like 2020 or whenever he signed, 2019. I thought we had a really good meeting. I walked out of here and said, Scott Boras, get it done. I get back an offer and it hurt. It just hurt. So we kind of just turned the page onto the new year. The Nationals offered Bryce $300 million over 10 years. The Phillies did $330 over 13 years. We can argue about that contract. It doesn't really matter, okay? Probably not. Whether this makes sense is irrelevant. He wanted to be a National. He wanted to stay there. The reason he's not a National is because a bigger market offered a better contract because they can do it, okay? So this is the exact problem we're talking about with the Dodgers. Bryce, you're part of the problem, okay? You know what it reminds me of? This is a sillier analogy, and I don't mean to pick on y'all, but imagine if Clemson made a new policy where you get bonus points on your exam if you live close to Clemson University. Now imagine you're from Texas, you're from Jersey. Imagine if Katie went to the DMV, changed her driver's license to Greenville, and then called Drew a loser for complaining about the new rules. It's like you're taking advantage of the new situation. Okay, the number one payroll this season in terms of whatever it's called, like this year payroll, it's not the Dodgers, it's not the Mets, it's not the Astros or the Yankees.
They deferred the money.
It's the Phillies. The Phillies are paying the most money right now. Bryce Harper's in the biggest market in terms of money this year. Of course, Bryce Harper is going to say that this is a great thing because it's a great thing for him personally. That's what I keep hearing people say, no players are complaining about the Dodgers. Of course, because players can leave crappy, poor teams and go to big markets for more money. MLB players and international soccer players are the only two leagues that make figures like this and get contracts like this. Of course, they're going to protect that and want to keep that a thing, even if it means a team like the Dodgers can be so successful. Okay? If Bryce Harper next year, if you force yourself out and sign with the Athletics and say, I'm going to be an Athletic because they draft so well and develop such a great team, I'll come on and I'll say that I was wrong, okay? But I don't think that's going to happen, all right? Bryce, you're a loser. You're a spoiled hothead. I hope every pitcher throws to you like Hunter Strickland. Get your wife a nose job. She needs it. Get out of my division and stop talking because every time you open your mouth or decide to express any emotion, it's the worst thing I've ever seen or heard. Next time I want to see a Bryce Harper headline, I want it to be alongside the name Tommy John, and that's my speech. Of course, it's an unbiased take, but go Braves.
I'm going to agree with most of that. Can't stand Bryce Harper.
He's the worst.
Maura wore a Bryce Harper jersey to the game last night, and he hit a 2-run home run. And it just, like, brings me back to the playoffs, just, like, what he's done to us, staring down Arcia, making him making me hate Arcia now. Just like, oh, gosh. Bryce Harper, #1 on my most hated player list.
I think.
Same.
Bryce Harper, Pete Alonso, 1 and 2.
I hate Alonso. I forgot about that last year.
Lindor, Soto, Bohm. Those are all interchangeable. Those are all interchangeable, but Bryce Harper, you're up there, buddy.
Wait, Alec Bohm ever do?
He's such a loser. Alec Bohm, 0 for 5 last night with 4 strikeouts.
Just insult the Phillies, guys. Just go at them. Go at 'em,
Oh my God.
please.
And Bohm also botched like 2 groundouts last night. He's so bad.
He not botched something.
He's so bad. He's
You
terrible.
just hate
He's overrated.
He's an annoying person.
It's the in-between bad. Like, she hates players that, like, are good enough to get attention, but then aren't.
He made the All-Star team in 23
See?
and has been crap since. Like, you don't deserve anything.
Like,
Right, they could also use our elder argument.
Sounds like Jacob DeGrom.
What?
Jacob DeGrom had a
What?
great career.
He's a Hall of
I mean,
He was
Famer.
the highest paid player in, like, 2017.
Has he not? I thought he was like.
Drew.
He's just been riddled with injuries lately.
But he had a good
Recently,
career.
but before then, he was the crap.
Jacob
That's
DeGrom,
a
he
Hall
was
of
Since he left the Mets, I haven't heard a thing. That's all I'm saying.
that's true.
Well, he went to the
Rookie of the
Rangers
year.
that won a World Series though.
Rookie of the Year, All-Star,
Yeah.
1 year gap, Cy Young, All-Star, Cy Young, All-Star. Like Cy Young.
Yeah.
Right now,
Yeah.
it's DeGrom who?
Yeah.
That's all I'm
Okay,
saying.
Okay, sure, yeah.
whatever.
The Yankees fan says that, by the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I got catcalled yesterday in my Bryce Harper jersey at the Astros game, so obviously he's appealing
Hey,
to some
Astros
people.
That wasn't because of your jersey.
Great.
Astros fans, gosh.
Wow, those Astro fans.
Ah.
They love their trash cans.
Really
Anyway.
traveling.
Finally, I was reading. Finally, 2 former Astros were named AL and NL Player of the Week: Alex Bregman and Kyle Tucker. I have to make a new outline. This isn't working.
There's only like 2 more.
Yeah, take this one away, Katie. Yeah, just take this one.
This makes my heart hurt. The 2 players that we lost, well, we lost more than 2, but the 2 best players that we lost over the offseason, and of course, they're starting out with career years. Bregman, he led the major leagues with 7 extra base hits over 6 games last week. He had 5 doubles, 22 total bases, 10 RBIs, and I think he currently has a .291 batting average and a 813 OPS, so he's obviously been playing great. And this sucks mostly because Alex Bregman is like known in the Astros for like starting slow. And of course, like the second he's on the Red Sox, he starts hot. I saw a tweet, which I thought this was funny. I think y'all will find it funny too. So Alex Cora, who is now the manager for the Red Sox, he was heavily a part of the Astros sign stealing scandal. And so someone on Astros Twitter like posted, and they were saying, of course, like now that Bregman's back with Cora, he starts off strong. Like they must be using the trash cans again.
Could be true.
Yeah, I know it could be, but
Could hide someone on top of the monster. Never know.
yeah. And then Kyle Tucker had an even better week. He hit .391 with 8 RBIs, 3 doubles, 8 walks, 11 runs scored, 2 stolen bases, and a .913 slugging. So, I mean, I think that this goes on into Kyle Tucker getting over $500 million. Like, if he keeps this up and he has a career year, I could see him easily getting the $500 million.
The only image I see from this is Altuve just like crying in a corner, just losing it.
Yeah, crying in the corner of left field, missing balls.
Oh my gosh. Please take him out of left field.
Did we see this coming? Yes.
It's hard to watch. I can't.
Oh, it is.
You can't put a little dude out in left field expecting him to run a
He's too
40-yard
small.
dash.
He doesn't cover enough ground. His legs are short. So
His
he can't-
arms are too
he's
short,
got
so
low
he can't
legs.
like.
He can't like reach.
Why are you pulling up George Springer now?
Just because I wanted to pull up George Springer's stats. He's batting .44 right
Sometimes
my
it's just fun to
God.
look up player stats. You never do
now.
that.
Just wanna-
Yeah, all the ex-Astros that have left my beloved team. Yeah.
How's Dansby Swanson been doing this year? Let's see.
Don't
That-
talk to me
that
about
is-
Dansby Swanson.
All right.
Yeah, don't talk about
I
Dansby.
can't stand
My
Dansby
bad.
Swanson. That might be
you?
might be a
How's
top
Ellie
6.
De La Cruz done
Whoa,
this year?
whoa.
Top 6.
Top 6, Dansby Swanson.
He's a top 10 for sure.
Would you rather have Swanson or Arcia?
Or Ellie De La Cruz?
Arcia.
That's a crazy. That's actually crazy take.
.22.
Wow, he's really killing it.
I'm just glad that
It's incredible.
the Astros, whenever they have players leave, they're great. Whenever the Braves do, they just leave existence.
I don't think great is really working out for us this year.
Nah.
We went into the 8th inning against the Mariners last night, 5-0. Surely we should have won the game. No, we lost 6-5.
Wow.
Braves
That's
lost
actually
2.
right.
Braves are 2-9. That's all I have
That's
to say.
painful
about
loss.
We're playing good teams, Riley. Just keep the faith. Just hold on.
It'll be okay.
Well,
Phillies are not
the
that good of a
Yankees are at the top of the division, right? So I guess you can be happy.
Yeah, but I mean, we
But
just
barely.
lost the big series to the Tigers. So.
Yeah, they got
Yeah,
swept.
No, we didn't. We won one.
Never mind.
Okay.
Oh, thanks to Max Fried.
Yeah,
We're just
Max
rambling.
Fried- Max
Should we go
Fried-
to buy or sell?
Yeah, we should go to buy or sell.
I think we're
And-
I had
just
nothing
sad.
on that.
And last but definitely not least, buy or sell. First up, Mets will win the NL East.
For the love of Lord, can we be realistic for a second? They're gonna fall
Time for us
off.
to all get mad and then Katie to buy.
Honestly, I would rather see the Phillies take the division because I know the Braves definitely aren't. I would rather see the Phillies take the division than the Mets. I can't stand the Mets.
Can we revisit them? Because y'all, like, I don't know. I don't watch baseball a ton. And I feel like all offseason I heard a lot of like the Mets, don't be scared of the Mets. They don't have pitching, therefore they're not good. Like,
No, I
but
feel
all the
like-
media all said that they were
Time
really
out.
good. Yeah, you got it.
We were like, don't be scared of the Mets. A lot of the media was like, be
that's
scared
what I
of
was
the
getting
Mets.
at.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
the media was saying they're great, but all of my baseball friends that I text about baseball and I'm like, are they any good? Was like, no, don't worry
That's
about it.
because you
Kaden.
have like a very biased panel
Yeah.
that you're
Yeah,
at.
so
Dude.
that's kind of what I was saying. Is I'm
Looking at
starting to
that
learn
rotation on
there's
paper,
some bias over here.
so bad. But then, of course, Clay Holmes goes out and has 10 strikeouts the other day. That's just not realistic.
I
think-
said
I
this 10 episodes ago. Clay Holmes is such a bad closer in the big moments. I didn't know what he could do as a starting pitcher, and
Like,
Well, here we go.
they have the lowest ERA team-wise in the league. Are we serious?
Sick.
Are we serious? And the Braves are 2-9.
They've played they've literally played 2 series against the Marlins. No wonder they're 8-4.
Yeah, but we also did too.
We won 1. Just take that.
No, but
We're 2-9.
We're back.
I
We're
think
back.
currently the Phillies are at the top of the division, and the Phillies have actually.
no, Mets are top.
That'll.
Mets are top.
No, I
Mets
don't
are the
think
top.
they
Yeah.
Oh, Phillies are top.
I
Phillies are
looked
top.
Phillies are top.
Phillies are the top.
Mets are behind the game by like half a game.
Yeah. So Phillies are at the top of the division. Have they played much harder teams than the Mets? Yes. So should I choose the Phillies? Yes. But am I going to choose the Phillies? No.
It's just like,
I'm choosing the Mets because I love the Mets.
Honestly, I respect it.
for me, like, I think the Mets will die out because
Absolutely.
they're starting way too hot right now. Their pitching
Yeah.
is way too hot right now. The Braves aren't winning the division. They're already 6 games back. The Phillies, like,
Gave up so fast.
I look at
I said before, what did I say? Before the start of the season, I was like, how many games
I don't
supposed to
care.
be like 6 games out? And you said something like, it would be like July. If July
yeah,
was still
I
like
really
6
start
games
taking
out, that's
Really?
I
It's like
start
not
really start
really
taking it seriously in July.
April.
But I look at the Phillies. I'm watching the Phillies. That team is not that good. Like, I'm sorry.
The Mets suck, the
No,
Phillies suck,
shut-
and the Braves
no.
are not winning the division.
Like, you
after
look
being
at the
6 games
bottom
back.
half.
Riley's a secret Marlins fan. That's the real
Honestly,
here.
like Riley,
You want to bet on the Nationals right now?
what team do you think is good?
Name a team you don't
Yeah,
like that you
right.
think is
What
good.
team you think is
Wait,
good other
Riley,
than the Dodgers?
in any
What
sport,
other
you name a team
is
that you
good?
don't like that you think is good. I think you're just grumpy today. I think
What?
you're
Riley's
just
just
a grumpy
Riley's
dude.
I'm like just
I think
listen.
Riley's just a pessimist.
Just
Yeah.
listen.
Worse than every
Name a team
Phillies?
that you don't like that you think is good.
No, so I'm still talking.
Riley,
Um,
the Phillies are 8-3. We're
you
2-9.
look at
It's
the,
okay.
You look at the
Riley's a
Phillies,
good
and like the bottom half of that lineup is awful. They have Max Kepler, they have Brandon Marsh, they have Stott, they have Bohm, they have trash players, and like the only people keeping that team afloat is they have Luzardo, Wheeler,
Almost said
Nola,
Altuve, but she couldn't do it.
Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, and Kyle Schwarber. Those are the only good players on that team.
Name a lot of players there.
Yeah, you
3
need, like,
pitchers and
half the
3
ro-
hitters.
Yeah, I feel like that's enough to
That's not a
win.
good. That's
Riley,
not
that's
a good
more than
team.
us.
Yeah, 3.
And they could barely hit Grant Holmes last night. Grant Holmes.
Okay.
They couldn't hit Grant
So,
Holmes.
Is the
They
NL
didn't get past 3rd until the 7th inning.
Riley, I have two.
And they
Half
still-
second.
and
I
they
have two
still
questions
beat
for
us.
you. Is the NL East a good division?
No.
Okay, so just about there's
Yes,
just,
it is. It is a good division.
It's a good division. So who's winning the NL East?
Phillies have the most likely offense.
Okay. Are the Phillies a good team?
They're a
Riley.
good enough team. They're a good enough team to win that division.
So
But it's a good division. They're a good enough
You
team
just said it's a
to win a
good
good division.
No, we're not.
really close
We're a
now.
decent division, and they're a decent team that's able to win a decent division.
Okay, this is just for me. The Tampa Bay Bucks in the NFC South and the Phillies in the NL East, is that comparable? Or would you say the NL East is much more talented?
The NL East is so much more talented than that. The NFC South is the worst
I know.
NFL division.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I
Yeah.
concur.
So why are we comparing the NL East to the NFC?
Because
NFC
it
South?
sounds like you're pretty low on the NL East.
No, I'm not. It goes NL West, it goes AL East, it goes NL East, it goes NL Central, AL West. That's kind of interchangeable, and then AL Central.
I think the Phillies are a good team. I think the Mets are a good team. And I think the Braves will be a good team, too, at the end of the season.
I
Yeah.
agree with
I
that.
think we're looking at 3
Yeah.
85 to 95 win teams, and I think the Phillies will win the division. Yeah.
Yeah, Phillies win.
I think the Mets and the Braves, if they get their crap together, are going to be battling for second.
I think we can battle for first, too. I think we're 6 games back in the middle of April. But, yeah, I mean, I think we're plus 360, and I think I'm very close. Once we're at 400, I think I placed that bet. But
I think we have a chance. I mean, obviously Strider's coming back, and apparently he had a AAA outing, which was really good.
Strider,
13 strikeouts.
13
When
strikeouts.
Strider gets back, that'll be a big help.
They're saying that he'll be back next week for us.
Please come back.
Maybe that will
Save
be our
us.
spark.
Acuna and
you're
Strider
saying
coming
that
back will
jokingly.
save the
You
Braves.
win a Cy Young, dog.
No,
Acuna and Strider back will save the Braves. That'll be their saving
Heard it
grace.
here first.
that's not saving the Braves.
Well, Mara,
it will.
what's our next buy or sell?
And finally, the Dodgers will not win the NL
Cranked
East.
out my division
West.
standings that fast.
I think, once again, we already touched on this a bit.
Dodgers
It's
will
crazy.
not.
The Dodgers are 100% going to be winning the NL West. I think that the Padres and the Giants right now, they are off to like way too hot of a start, and they are not going to stay there. they're going to fall down. I think we've seen this happen so many times. I mean, I remember it was a few years ago, and it was when the Mariners were not very good. They started off like just some crazy start, and I think they ended up being last place in the division. So I think something similar. I'm not saying they're going to be in last place, but they're definitely the Padres or the Giants are not ending in first. The Dodgers will end in first.
Yeah, I mean, I said at the beginning of the season, if the Dodgers are 10-35, that's when I've given up on them, and they're 10-4. So they win one more game, they've already beaten that goal. So I mean, they're a 10-4 team. Yeah, I mean, the Padres.
A 7-14
Yeah.
win.
A 10-4 team
they're
in
the
third
last-
place.
Like,
right
what'd you
now.
say? You said they're on pace to win
Yeah,
116
that's
games.
insane.
The Padres and Giants aren't doing that. Like, yeah, it's
The Giants are going to die out, but the Padres have a legitimate chance.
Padres,
let's look
the
at
Padres are their
The
biggest.
Padres have swept the Braves, the Guardians, the A's, but the only series they've lost is to the
Wow,
Cubs.
they swept the A's.
The Braves and the Guardians. I'm not talking about the A's. Braves and the Guardians.
Yeah, the Giants are. Right now, they're not playing the best teams in the league. They're playing the Reds, the Astros. The Astros lost that series, actually. Wow, swept by the Giants. That's rough.
Yeah.
And then they played the Mariners, and they just finished up a series with the Reds, which they actually lost. So next up,
They got shut out both.
yeah, the Giants
They-
actually got to play a 3-game series with the Yankees, then the Phillies. So next 6 games are going to tell if they're actually good or not. So that's a
For
test
sure.
for them.
I just think it's a lot more competitive than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But the Dodgers are eventually going to win it.
I think they're going to win it by a lot.
Me too.
I don't think it's going to be close.
Yeah.
It's not.
I think it'll be.
I think these teams are both off to a hot start. Do I think the Padres are going to be in second? Yes. Do I think they're going to have a good year? Yes. But I think the Dodgers are going to have an extraordinary one-of-a-kind year, and I think that the Padres are going to finish, I don't know, I would say maybe 6-8 games behind.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
I think the Padres are going to finish behind the Diamondbacks.
No, a lot more than 6.
No.
No,
just
what?
Why are the Diamondbacks still
or
in here?
Diamondback?
Why are the Diamondbacks still in this conversation?
What do you
I'm
mean?
sick of the Diamondbacks.
They shouldn't
They're
be.
so good.
I mean,
Because they got Corbin Burns.
So, oh my gosh, what has he done?
That's it.
I haven't heard his
Two
name.
good Corbins.
I haven't heard his name once.
two good
I
questions.
have not heard the Diamondbacks in general.
Corbin squared is
Josh
going
Allen.
to.
Touchdown or Riggs?
Sorry, just yelled.
Yeah. Well, his name's not.
You
Corbin.
guess?
It's not
What'd you
his-
say?
Diamondbacks, folks.
Yeah.
We are living in an age where the Diamondbacks are good again.
Just throwing out my take, and I'll let it sit until the end of the season.
What?
All
That
sour like
the
milk.
Diamondbacks are good?
Yeah.
That was sour.
I'm so sure.
Dodgers, I'll say this real quick. Dodgers are minus 1,000 to win the division. So you got to bet $1,000 to make $100. Padres are plus 850. Bet $10, you get 85. I wouldn't take that. Would any of y'all take that right now? $10 for 85.
the
If they win the division, you get $85. You put in
85 is
$10.
not worth it.
All right, word. I wouldn't either. I was just curious. Thought I'd throw it out.
Great division, best division in baseball. Not the NL East.
Okay. It's good.
She's
NL East is a good division.
She's just salty, guys. It's okay.
It's all right. She's grumpy.
Hey, at least she admitted that a team is good.
Braves are worst team in the league.
Through
I've ever seen.
skillful questioning, 5 separate questions. Yeah.
Riley, the Braves are not the worst team in the league.
The Braves are-
White Sox are.
We are competing today with the White Sox for first to 10 losses.
We're tanking for Cooper Flag, like I said.
No, you're not. They already have 10.
Oh, perfect. Because they lost today, that's why. So, and we are too, so we're both going to have 10.
We're about to get back at a guy who just had 13 strikeouts, and she thinks we're going to suffer.
I mean, Strider, a guy who plays one day a week is not saving this team.
I feel like if we go
And we're getting
6 and
Acuna
4
back
and-
soon. We have a hampered outfield. Have you seen
We're
her?
yapping.
Acuna, you see Acuna, the last time he came back from an ACL injury, 2022, he was awful. Thank you.
2023?
That's a whole year. You want to wait till next year to
Yeah.
see him be good?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's right. I
gotta
think
say
it'll be good
two
right now.
sentences then. We have seen so much data with and without Acuna to know that we're so much better when Acuna plays baseball. Yeah, 100%. We play
Yes.
so much worse
Yeah,
when he gets
but
hurt
I'm
and
ju-
so much better when he plays. We've seen a lot of both, and I think we
Because we don't have to have Brian De La Cruz in the outfield.
I love Brian De La Cruz. That's ridiculous.
We don't have to have Jared
Yeah,
Kelnick
yeah.
in the outfield.
Brian De La Cruz is a slugger. Maybe that'll work for me too.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe that'll work. All
Oh my
right.
gosh. Ben Rice, we're done with Ben,
Ben
Rice.
Rice is
He's too
slugging.
good.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
He's too good
We're
now.
not done with Ben Rice.
3-6 batting.
He's too good now.
We were his
No,
first
man.
fan club.
Oh my gosh.
It's a weird year when the Braves suck and Ben Rice is slugging.
Yeah, that's when you know the season's fake.
Scripted.
This is
not a
It'll be
real
scripted.
For Ben Rice to win it.
This is not a real
They
season.
scripted it for fried rice.
So corny.
Fried
Maura.
rice.
That's the new thing, because Max Fried and Ben Rice.
Corn balls. Corn balls.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Corny.
Bye. Fried chicken.
Bye.
See y'all.
And that's a wrap for today's show. I hope this performance doesn't get me fired from my job. We will return next week with more baseball news. Thanks, as always, to our amazing panel and everyone in the studio. Catch you next time on Touching All Bases.